Hello YouTube and welcome back to X-Plane 11 for part 2 of my JustFlight Avro Vulcan review. This is actually now in version 1.1. There have been some updates. So since the last episode, there's been a couple of changes in the manual. There have been a few changes in the lighting systems, in the autopilot system, I believe. In fact, I can tell you exactly what the changes are before I do the intro. So the transponder logic has been changed. There is a fire extinguisher logic to the glare shield engine fire warning buttons. The ADF is functional, or they've implemented ADF functionality. They've refined the functionality of the retractable landing lights for increased realism. They've revised the annunciator light logic. They've added full 3D cockpit lighting with functional swivel lights, individual faders, and dynamic illumination for the night flying experience. So those are the lights on the side that I said do not turn, do not swivel. I'll show you once we're inside. They now do. They've fixed the alternator logic on the AAPP panel, the Airborne Auxiliary Control Power Panel. And they've got VR support for the 2D pop-ups. And they've also got a correction to the manual. So those are the changes, what we're going to be doing in this video. So if you were not here for the last video, I do recommend you try or have a look at that before you watch this video, because in that one we talked about the price of the aircraft, some of the specifications, system specifications, what comes with the pack, what the aircraft is about, and then we did an in-depth cockpit tour with every button, every gauge that we could find, just to see what does what. In this episode, we're going to be flying from RAF Cottesmore to RAF Brize Norton with this aircraft. So we're going to be going from Cottesmore to Daventry to Brize Norton, which is the tutorial flight that they have in the manual. So I'm going to be following the manual for that one. And then in the next parts, we're going to be doing some different types of flying. And we're going to see just what we can do. So this is more of a trying to get used to the aircraft, understanding how it flies, and just having a feel for the flight physics. So make sure you stay tuned for this. And as I said, if you haven't seen the last one, please do go check out the last episode so you can find out some information about this aircraft and understand where everything is, because the cockpit is insane. Alright, here we are, ready to go. Well, I say ready to go, ready to start this up. Let's go ahead and, we can leave that closed. We'll connect the ground power for starters, and let's just see if I can go through all of this. Now, I'm actually not going to be looking at the tutorial that much, but let's see. We're going to go for a rapid start. I'm actually going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of both of them there. I'm going to go for a rapid start, so let's see if I can remember how to do this. I've tried this a couple of times already, and I want to see if I can remember. So the first thing I want to do is check to make sure these are on. No, actually, we'll leave them off. They should all be like that. That's fine. I'm going to switch the battery on. That's something I've got to do. I'm then going to move these into the up position, like that. So those are the transformers. Then I believe we should have, we'll have a warning there. I then want to ensure we'll do an oxygen test, which is fine on that side. For some reason that side has a clicky noise, this side does not, which is odd. Right. Not sure why these are. Yep, they're all red, that's fine. That's down, landing gear is down. We've got the parking brake set, that's off, that's set. We've then got, let's see if I can remember, come on brain, we need to switch on some external lights. We'll have them steady, there we go. We then need to ensure that that's set full forward to cruise, which it is. We want to ensure that this is set to this is closed, which it is. That's got the green light. That's fine. That's fine all the way along. We'll set this. I think I've already got this set to 1164, which is Daventry, because we are going, as I said, from RAF Cottesmore to RAF Brize Norton. We do not need to press anything there just yet. That's going to go at the end. We do need to open up these. So we'll, these all open like that. We need to select all of those. There we go. That should give us fuel flow. Those are all off. That's fine. That's off. Not a problem there. We should probably put that to there now, because we are going to be starting the aircraft up. That's all fine. We then need to ensure that the autopilot is on, like so. We then need to ensure that these three are flicked up. So that's roll, ailerons, or rudder, ailerons, elevator. That's or rudder and elevons. We'll then press power, and then we've got the ready light on, so we can always engage that at any point in time.
Caution.
Yes, fine. That noise, that, how do I get rid of? Is it this particular one? I can just disable it for this particular aircraft. There you go. Disabled. Right. Now that I've done that, I'm thinking, am I missing something? I feel like I might be missing something. What am I missing? We need to open those four up to start the aircraft. I know that. Twiddle all of these. These all work, as I said. You can see we've now got lights everywhere. Ta-da! Which looks awesome. Do that as well. Red lights down there. Just red lights everywhere. Why not? There you go. Wherever I can stick red lights on this, there's red lights. Not sure where they come from, but we've got red lights. Okay. Next up, I believe I need to flick 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I leave those two off. That looks right to me. And then what do I need to do? I go down here. I will switch that on, make sure that's on rapid. Everything is okay here, and then I believe I just press this button. That should start all four engines. Oh no, I have forgotten one thing. This needs to be brought forward to about 50% to start all the engines. There we go. That's what I needed. Will that start all the engines? I think I just had a failed start because I didn't do this. Oh no, failed start because I didn't put the fuel pumps on. That was all of that without fuel pumps. There you go. That's all. The crossfeeds are fine, and suddenly, well, there you go. It's all started. Now, should we have a look outside? There we go. Okay. That wasn't too bad from memory. That was not too bad from memory. So that's a rapid start of these engines. Everything seems to be running absolutely fine in there. What I'm going to do now is we have to switch. Do I switch the... I think this needs to go to closed once we've done that. So that should be absolutely fine at that point. We also need to bring this down to idle, I believe. We then go ahead and there we go. That's all the way to idle. I think we then need to go ahead and switch that on. That's going to stay at 5,000. We'll leave that in 5,000 range, which is fine. We then need to what do we do now? Yes, we need to open up this, and we need to ensure that these all go out. Now the way these go out is that, because those are synchronized and then those three are isolated. That's fine. We'll then go here and we're going to switch on you and you. There we go. And I think at this point we're doing pretty well. Let me switch on the pitot heater as well. That should have the lights go out, so then there's no warning. Not sure what that limit light's for the radio altimeter. I think we're okay there. We can then start up 1, 2, 3. So that's all the powered flight controls on. We can check. Let's check the speed brakes. So there you go. I'm extending the speed brakes. You can see that it's working there. I'm going to switch that over to MFS because I don't want any chance of this going wrong. That's fine. We'll check the bomb bay doors. You can see it with the lines, and that's open. Great. Go ahead and close those. Speed brakes are off. That looks pretty good to me. I think we're alright. I think we're okay now. We'll do that. We'll do that. All the way down to taxi mode. Is that not taxi mode? Oh, wait, that's taxi. That's fine. Let's have a look at the aircraft from the outside. So you can see the plumes of smoke coming out, and it sounds really nice. It really does sound nice. Let's go slightly faster. How are the taxi lights looking? There they are. Taxi lights there and there. They look more like landing lights, but that's okay. Beacons are all on. I've left a beacon on at the back. Probably should not have that on. I think I know what that beacon is as well. Let's switch that one off. I'll just flick that by mistake. That's this one, I think. I think that is that one, but apparently I cannot. Steady? No, that's still on. Well, okay, fine. I'll just leave that in whatever form it needs to be in. Ha! That's what it is. Probably this thing here. There you go, it's off now. Cool. So that's how that one works. I didn't know that at all. Right, I think we can go ahead and taxi now to the runway. So we're going to take off runway 23. We're going to land runway 27 at Brize, Norton. I have no idea how the autopilot systems work on this aircraft, so we're going to find out. But I'll just release the brakes, give it a little bit of power. And away we go. So far so good. It hasn't gone wrong. It's things are still sort of working. And of course I'm not doing this with all the checklists, so I'm not going through, for example, all of this. I'm just following the tutorial roughly, which is all you need to be able to essentially fly this aircraft. But obviously I will be doing another video where I go into these things in a lot more depth. It says idle, let that continue on its merry way. Do we want the demister on? Sure, let's have the demister on. Windscreen wipers? No, they're just annoying. Switch that off. Right, I think I'm in the right mode, so I'm in the military flight system mode. So my autopilot should or could work. What we'll do is we'll climb up, we'll head towards Daventry, which I believe all I need to do is make that face north. I'll use Avitab to confirm that. And then from there what we're going to do is I might try and do a few of those maneuvers that we see this aircraft do, the howls and things. Maybe not really use the autopilot so much. We might try the autopilot for this period of time, but I'm not going to use the autopilot so much. Now, memory serves me correct. Now what I need to do is switch those two off and switch that on. Why, I do not know, but I'm pretty sure I need to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get ourselves onto the runway, move this into that position. Runway 22. What I'm going to do is we'll do a let's see, Let's see, I'm going to take off. We'll do a climb out to about 3,000 feet. A gentle climb out to 3,000 feet. And then from there we will... I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do this. From there we'll do a loop. I want to go over Rutland Water, and then we'll head towards Daventry from there. And I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, everything is ready to go, I think. Let me just do some checks on this, just to... Oh no, wait, no, ejection pins can now be stowed. There we go. Pressure head heaters, that's pitot heaters. Done. That's done, that's done. Everything's fine. Brakes have been checked. Hydraulic pressures are in the green, or we're in the green. We're good on that. Instruments have been checked. I think we are good. PFCs have checked. Emergency trims, yep. Field relief, fine. Nav selector, central. Nav selector. What's the nav select? Ah, this one. Central. We want... Instrument flags are clear. Autopilot ready is lit up. Good. Let's switch that to in the middle for now. Then I'm going to need altitude mode there. Alternators are on. That's all done. Right, we are going to go through all of that next time. This one we're not going to go through. 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 open. Yeah, and port or starboard open. Radio altimeter is on. That's fine. All right, let's take off. Here we go. Let's try a nice a gentle climb out. This is where it's going to get difficult. So the problem is, I'll be honest, I would rather I was there, so I can actually see the compass as well and see where I'm going. I think that's where I'm going to try and stay. Right. Should we see if we can get the howl on this? It actually has the howl.
On taxiway.
What? That's incredible. We're going to go for a takeoff at 155-ish knots, which is there. Let's go. Gentle takeoff. Positive rate. Gear comes up. And we're looking to be, I think we'll go for 2,000 feet radio altimeter. That's what we'll look for. This is such an easy aircraft to take. I barely had to pull back on the stick. That's how easy this aircraft was to take off. And now I've just got it trimmed in for a climb. It's just climbing of its own accord. That's absolutely fine. We'll bring it to 3,000. I'm going to try and stabilise, and then we'll try and do a... come on. Don't do that. It's picking up speed now quite nice. It really picks up speed as well. There we go. Let's try and get this nicely done. And I think we're sort of okay. Alright, let's try a turn. See how easy this aircraft is to turn. Very easy. Very, very easy to turn. In fact, you can see there we're already in quite a bank. That's a lot of fun. That's just immediately a lot of fun just to fly around in. I can see why this aircraft is. It just responds. Just responds really, really nicely. I mean, you can see there how, I'll be honest, this is as easy to fly at the moment. I'm finding this as easy to fly as a light aircraft. Apart from the fact that it's a lot faster. But it is as easy to fly in terms of it just responds. That's really nice. It does have a habit of ballooning, I suppose, but that's something that you need to improve with practice. And continuing this turn all the way around. Still sticking around the 3,000 feet radial altimeter mark, or radial altitude. Playing around with the trims a little bit. We're doing about 300 knots already. And it's just very easy to manoeuvre. I do like it. I really do like this aircraft already. Let's have a quick look outside. Look at that. I mean, it's just such a magnificent looking aircraft as well. Let's go back inside. That's not the one, it's 7. I've got to remember that it's 7 to do this. There we go. Let's fly over Rutland Water and then we'll head towards Daventry. What we'll do is we'll fly over Rutland Water and then I'm going to try an interesting climb out here. So as soon as we're over Rutland Water, I'm climbing for... what should I go for? I'm going to see how quickly we can climb to 25,000 feet. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll go for a full... I mean, I think this aircraft has afterburners. I think. I don't want to press that button for the relight. I really don't want to press that button, but I've got a feeling that is the right button. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually switch on the oxygen because we're going to need it as we fly over Rutland Water. Just take another look. I think we're over it now. Yep. Let's go for it. I want to hear it from the outside. Yep, there's the howl. And it's just trimmed itself. Whatever it's trimmed to, it's just gone into an insane climb. That just immediately took itself into a climb. What altitude are we at? 8,000. 9,000. Should we see what this button does? Does it actually do what I think it does? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. But we are in a... Well, let's just go outside and just have a look again. A few seconds ago, we were down there. You can just see Cottesmore just there. That was incredible. 17,000 feet. I think I could potentially go even faster. Alright, I'm not sure if the afterburners worked. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not sure if that was afterburner. Well, there we go. We're at 25,000 feet. Let's head to Daventry now. Well, we're not at 25, we're at 22,000 feet, but let's head to Daventry. So, I wonder how this works. That's what I need to figure out. So what I want to do is I'm going to nose down, and I think all we do is we just point towards it. So all we need to do is turn that to go north, as far as I understand. Then we might try the autopilot, basic part of the autopilot. Not going to try, as I said, not going to try the terrain following radar today. Might try that flight over Wales and try that then. But for now, we're at 330 knots. I can just bring the throttles right the way back. This aircraft is incredibly easy to fly. I'm not sure, I've not come across an aircraft quite this simple. I mean, I know it's not simple in terms of, when I looked at this aircraft, I thought, well, this is going to be a nightmare. It's not. It really is not. Right. Let's try and stabilise ourselves. So, stabilise. Like that. We're heading towards Daventry. I'll bring the nose of the aircraft down. Bring the speed to stabilise as well. I want the speed to stabilise. Okay. That looks reasonable. Now let's see what happens if I activate the autopilot system. Oh no, it's just dropped that nose before I even activated it. Let's see if I can activate this properly. Okay, that looks like that's stabilising really nicely. I'm now going to try and just press engage, that, and track. Let's see what it does. I have no idea what this is going to do. At the moment, I have no idea what way I should be facing either. It seems to be putting us into a nose down position. Okay. So, autopilot, something I still need to get used to. I have no idea what city we're flying over now. Not a clue. Are we even heading in the right direction? 23 miles from Daventry. Okay. Let's use Avitab to help us here. Where are we? There we are. Okay, we're flying over Corby it seems. So we're going to head towards Daventry. At the moment, we're heading 240. Which perhaps if I tune 240 in there, I think that there is telling me which way I'm supposed to be heading. I think. I need to work on this. Just letting myself descend ever so gently. Let's head slightly more to the left. Yep, that's the, there you go. That direction is my direction to my ILS. So that's what that line does on the director horizon. Sorry, not the director horizon. The beam compass. So as long as that points north, I'm heading directly towards it. Which is what my aim is. There we go. And then perhaps I can do that. And then engage that. Now it seems to still put me in a descent. I'm okay with a 500 foot per minute descent currently, because I am trying to descend the aircraft. But so that, at least I know what that one does. So that line there with the circle, that's our nav instrument. So once that will tell us which direction. So once that's pointing basically north, in this case, this is pointing up. That's the direction we're heading towards the VOR. Then we've got that, which tells us our actual direction to the VOR. So this will probably swing around as we go the opposite way. Then what I need to do. So how does this actually? Because this doesn't seem to turn the aircraft. That's the only thing. This does not seem to turn the aircraft. So the question is, how do I turn the aircraft? So it's our control here. What does that do? I'm worried about pressing something that's going to destroy my aircraft, and suddenly everything's just going to go flying. Hello. There we go. Okay, I've got it. I've got to change that. And that's giving me some control. That's certainly giving me some control just now. So now if I were to change... There we go. I've now got control over the aircraft. Okay, so I'm going to change that to 220. And I'm going to try and bring this into a descent somehow. How do I bring this into a descent? I'll just trim it, because we're at 21,000 feet. We're incredibly high. Incredibly high up. Just look at that. I need to take a picture. From a distance, perhaps. Doesn't look as great as I want it to look. Probably because I'm using the matte one. I think perhaps if I was using the reflective livery, if I was using one of the reflective liveries, that would look stunning. But I'm using the matte livery, so oh well. Oh well. So I'm looking for RAF Brize Norton. That's going to be an interesting one to find. Not a clue where that is. That might just be it. In fact, that probably is it. I have to have a look. We'll have to figure that one out. How do I bring myself into a steeper descent? Can I just trim down to do that? No. Does not like bringing me into a steeper descent like that. Perhaps if I just remove the altitude from that. Still does not like bringing me into a steep... Actually, it is sort of. No, it's still fighting me. Okay, so I'll try something else. I'll disengage. I'll actually bring myself into a steeper descent. And then I'll try and engage the autopilot. Let's see what you do now. That's pretty good. I'm now on full idle. And I'm just in a descent quite easily. So that's how the autopilot seems to be working. I'm fairly sure that's Brize Norton, where I was supposed to be headed. No, Brize Norton's still ahead of me. That's Brize Norton, I believe. If I somehow manage to... Is that Brize Norton? No. This one here. This one here is Brize Norton. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually set up for a... I don't know if this is possible. Slow this aircraft down. I'm actually going to try and use this. Let's turn south. Is that not going to work? Does that not work? Why does that not work now? It was working a moment ago. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Right, I've shed some speed, as much speed as I could. So I'm down to 220 knots. Still reducing altitude really nicely now. I'm just hoping that somehow I manage to trick this. I say trick it. Somehow I managed to perfectly calculate this to actually bring the aircraft down to Brize Norton quite smoothly. Coming through the clouds now. It's such an easy aircraft to fly. It's brilliant. It's genuinely brilliant, this aircraft. Yes, I'm not all too used to it yet. But, I mean, for the first time flying the aircraft, I think I'm doing okay, and I've already got used to what needs to be pressed and clicked where to do what. So there is that as well, which is it's turning out quite nicely. You've got to keep an eye out for Oxford, because if I look at the map, that's Brize Norton there. So I'm thinking, should I loop around and over Oxford, or can I manage this? I'm not sure I can manage this at the speed I'm doing, because I need a much steeper rate of descent. But I've already got my speed brakes partly deployed, and I really do not feel like deploying them further. Coupled with Orbex, this is stunning. Seriously, coupled with Orbex, Vulkan, Orbex, and the JustFlight Vulcan. This is brilliant. And active skies, clouds, and things like that. It's just so good. Really, genuinely is an amazing experience to fly, or to be flying an aircraft like this. You know, things we would have never thought that this would be possible some years ago. In fact, we know it would not have been possible some years ago. But just look at that. It's just so perfect. So perfect right now. There's Brize Norton. Right, so how am I going to do this? I think I can go that way and then bring it in for a long... I think that's probably my best bet. Let me do that. Okay. Theoretically, this should work. Turn this to 090 as we're still descending. I want to bring ourselves down to 4,000 feet. At 4,000 feet, I will probably take over myself and see if I can land this aircraft completely manually. No, it's theory. Theory, we need to bring it down to 4,000 feet. I should have started my descent a little bit earlier than I did. If I started it 30-45 seconds earlier, I think it would have been a lot better. That's okay though. That's completely okay. That's Oxford. Is it? That might be Oxford. Excuse me. Checking this again. That's Oxford. Should we look for Oxford University? Let's have a quick peek for Oxford University. It's part of Oxford University, I think. That looks like it. Part of it. Really not sure. I've never actually seen Oxford University in my life. That looks very much like Oxford University though. Or the design. It might be, it might not be. I don't know whether they've got it modelled in perfectly. Anyway, what am I doing? I need to be preparing to land this aircraft.
Altimeter setting.
Yes, thank you. I know. Alright. Full about. That's a nautical term, that's not the one I'm supposed to be using. And we'll disengage autopilot now. Nose up. And we're looking for all the way around 270. Why is the nose not going up? Come on. Nose up. We're at 3,000 feet. That's not gone perfectly to plan as is. The aircraft's in a stall. That's probably why. Or almost stalling. There we go. Alright, off to Brize Norton. Alright, I see Brize Norton right there. All I need to do is line myself up with the runway and we'll be okay. Right, stay where you are now. Stay at the height you are. In fact, no. We need to start a descent. So I want, let's go for 170. 170 knots. Oh, I know why. The air brakes were fully out. Instead of fully deployed, I brought them fully out. For some reason, the controls are opposites at the moment on mine. So, for fully extending air brakes, I have to fully, yeah, it's I don't know what's happened to my controls. It happened when I swapped to Vulcan. Not the JustFlight Vulcan, I meant the Vulcan, Vulcan engine. So that's what's happened. Same with my trim. My trims are opposite as well. See? There we go. But I will bring my landing gear out. I will slow it down further and then I'll work on it from there. Stow those air brakes. There we go. Reducing altitude nicely, I think. Hopefully. At 3,000, but we are very high. Let's air brakes and drop the nose. Really manages to do a really good trick there. There we go. That should be capable. Then we should be able to fly that. Okay. On final for Brize Norton. Let's see if I can land this aircraft. So we've got the parachutes there that we're going to have to deploy as well. As soon as we land, I will try to see if those parachutes actually do work. Right, throttles are completely
Flaps.
idle.
Flaps.
I don't think I've got flaps. We look like we are lined up for the runway. It's very easy to line up this aircraft.
2-5.
Thank you. I want to slow down further than this though.
Flaps.
Oh shush. Yeah, I'm checking. I don't think I've got flaps. There you go. I'm pretty sure this kind of Delta wing cannot have flaps. Right, I think we're flaring at 155, but at the moment we're fairly fast. So this is going to be an interesting landing. Should pull out the air brakes again. There we go. It's a large aircraft, so...
Long landing.
Yes,
Long
I know.
landing.
Shut up.
7,000 feet remaining.
We're down. Parachutes out. On the brakes. Should we have a look outside quickly at the parachutes? There's the parachutes. Yes, it actually has parachutes. We're fairly on the centre of the runway as well. And just in the parachutes. Welcome to RAF Brize Norton. That wasn't too bad. That honestly was not too bad. I think I've done an alright job there. Yeah, I honestly think I did an okay job there. Not bad for my first flight, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Next one we're going to be trying the autopilot a little bit more, and we're going to be doing a little bit more in the way of stunts, although I did do that really hard climb out, which was incredible, and we did check the throttles and the noise it makes, which it makes the proper noise as well. Obviously you have to treat an aircraft like this with respect. It's an old aircraft, I don't want to destroy it. I don't know how much is simulated in terms of things like fires and things like that. I'd rather not destroy it on camera until I have tested whether it does or does not end up destroyed. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, complete with that notification bell to see more episodes. Also, if you can afford to do so, please do support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. Also, you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me at ecgadget on Reddit. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in X-Plane 11 for part 3, where I'm going to try the terrain following radar in Wales, and we're going to see just how well this aircraft performs if we try and actually push it around a bit. I think that's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Hopefully you guys will be there. I certainly will be, and most likely it's going to go wrong, so you know, you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, click. I'll see you guys next time.